Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Thank you for tuning into this video. Yes, you read the title correctly. 1971 adjusted values today equal $5,000 gold and $600 silver, showcasing how much the dollar is worth or how much the dollar has declined and how precious metals are timeless. These numbers would actually put the gold to silver ratio at 8-1, which is actually the rate that it comes out of the ground. So if we are looking at specifics, the gold to silver ratio shouldn't be 72-1, it should be 8-1, and these prices would be relevant. So there's going to be a lot of controversy around these numbers, and I just want you to watch the video and try to understand and grasp the concept of what these numbers mean, and also why silver has more potential than you're probably assuming, right? Not only are things much more extreme today than they were back in the day, not only just talking about 2008 when silver was $50, but throughout history, things are more extreme now than they've ever been. Not only with just the global pandemic, but with the trillion-dollar stimulus packages, the value of the dollar, how countries are opting out of the USD being the world's reserve currency, and so many more things. So yes, things are at a very extreme state, which also could bring very extreme prices. Now, silver's not going to be $600 tomorrow. It's not going to be $600 next year. It's not even going to be $600 in 5 years from now. But the longer term picture, this is definitely possible, right? It's definitely possible. Not even 10 years ago, we saw $50 silver, and things are much more extreme in today's times. So in 10, 20 years from now, this is definitely possible. And I'm probably being lenient on that time frame. I just don't want you to think silver is going to be $600 tomorrow, because that's definitely misleading, right? It's definitely misleading. So as the US dollar continues to decline, gold and silver continue to rise. Short term, we are seeing corrections in gold and silver, but we view the pullbacks as buying. Given the massive printing of currency around the world and the continuing global economic catastrophe caused by the virus, the fundamentals for gold and silver are extremely bullish long term. And this is that long term aspect that I was talking about. Right now, we're not going to see these types of silver prices, but in the longer term, when you should be selling anyways, and that's the thing, what's your time frame that you plan on selling? See, I don't plan on selling for another 10, 20, 25 years, right? If you're looking at the time frame of a couple of years, maybe 5 years to sell, you are missing the whole point. You're missing the bigger picture. You're going to sell yourself short. You're literally selling yourself short. You're going to miss the opportunity where precious metals really can do something, right? So hold on to your precious metals, buy bullion, buy cheap, as much silver as you can for as cheap as possible. Take advantage of these low prices, these low spot prices, and save this as a retirement. If this isn't a get-rich-quick scheme, precious metals is a much longer-term investment, much longer-term. If you want short-term profits, go to something like Bitcoin or stock markets. Gold and silver, we are putting our money, we're hedging against inflation as the dollar slowly crashes and burns, but it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen in a couple of years. So we see gold and silver correcting down into September and then rising to new highs. So if in gold we close above $1,939, it will activate $1,970 as a target. If we close above $1,963, we are looking at targets of $1,983 and the weekly target of $2,052. So they're talking about, gold trading, and they use this thing called the VCPMI. It's basically an AI robot that can literally look at the charts and show what the best buying and selling levels are. So there is no bias, there is no speculation, there is none of that. There's no emotion that where humans flaw off of, right? This thing looks at the chart and says, this is literally the best time to buy, and this is literally the best time to sell. And that's why I like this thing, because emotion, speculation, irrational decision making, impulse buying, panic selling, all of that is where investors fail at, and that's because of human emotion, right? So the market traded in the evening session below the average price, activated a bearish price momentum at around 12 a.m. So much of the activity happens in the Globex when the US market is closed. So since the market closed below the average price, the sentiment of the market is bearish. The selling pressure was greater than the buying demand until it reached buy one level of $1,935. So we recommend that you trail your position with a regular stop. If the market is moving in your direction, the level at which you entered could be tested again. So if you are trading, this is stuff you got to look at carefully. Now, I know a lot of you are just buying silver and putting it away and aren't planning on selling it for 20, 30 years, which I'm doing the same thing. I'm not moving around my metals. I'm not marginal trading. I'm not doing any of that. I'm not investing in the ETFs or any of that. But this stuff is still important to take note of, because there is a small portion of my subscribers that do, invest this way. But it's still important to take note of, because this is still intertwined with silver's prices and where silver prices are headed next, which will affect all of our stacking strategies. So this is a long article. So it's going into the fundamentals. We're talking about from 2013 till March 2020. We had a great deal of short selling in gold, manipulation of gold prices, central bankers trying to corner the market, everything with that. And then it goes into this. So this article believes that we're looking at the next bull market in gold. We have a short window based on the VCPMI to take advantage of this opportunity. So this AI robot is saying that there is a short window to buy back one last time until the huge rush happens, the bull run happens, right? It said there's going to be a slow correction till September until a massive bullish rally or a bullish run in precious metals. So around September, October, we're going to be seeing some massive things happening. And remember, the icing on the cake is the presidential election. So it even says here the markets are not going to return to normal. The precious metals markets are beginning to take into account what it means to have trillions of more dollars in the market. Trillions of more dollars. This has never happened before. See, people are so adjusted to, or they're so used to the old way the markets moved, and they're not adapting to the new age. We're in a whole new age, a technological age, where people that are much younger now, millennials, are investing. So there's a whole new generation of money coming in. It's much more accessible with apps like Robinhood to invest into the market. You don't have to know these exchanges. You don't have to know how to place buy and sell orders. It's making it more accessible and more convenient for everyone. And this is also catching the attention of new millennials, because Bitcoin, people saw the potential with Bitcoin. Now they hear about gold and silver. So younger generations are investing because they see there actually is potential to be made. There's profits to be made. So yes, I get it if you're an old time stacker and you want to do things cut and dry a certain way, but you got to learn how to adapt and adjust. Investing is all about adjusting to the current situation. If you don't, then you're going to be missing out on so much money, just like the people that said, oh, Bitcoin is a bad investment because they didn't agree with it, because it was new. It was something new. But look how much money some people missed out on because of their ignorance. We have to learn to adapt with the times. And that even goes into the world of precious metals adapting, right? Even something intrinsical like gold and silver still has a changing and ever-changing market. So gold is beginning to reflect the damage that has hit the global economy. Fiat currencies values are imploding. Dollar assets values are imploding and will continue to fall. Since the US dollar will continue to fall due to the amount of money the government is creating. We are just pumping the money, or pumping all this, flooding the market, flooding the global economy with money, trying to keep everyone afloat, right? Businesses, everyone afloat by just throwing money at it. It's like trying to put a band-aid on a deep wound. It's not going to work. It might work temporarily, but the system is still going to crash, whether they like it or not, whether they want to acknowledge it or not, whether they want to admit it or not. And all we can do is be prepared. The more you try to pretend it's not happening, the less prepared you are. So when it does happen, you are going to get burnt deeply. We need to prepare, and the best way to prepare is what? Gold and silver. So time has to come to pay the piper. Who is going to pay for the trillions of dollars that are being thrown into the economy? And that's kind of what I'm talking about. The bubble's going to pop sooner or later. So the article goes on to say this: gold and silver are rising because they have actual value, intrinsic value. They are not just pieces of paper. Governments can't just create more gold and silver. For thousands of years, gold and silver have been highly valued assets. Paper currencies have not. Cryptocurrencies may be an alternative, but what happens if the internet crashes? Like the dollar, cryptocurrencies are no of intrinsic value. Gold and silver have actual real value. I strongly suggest you add gold and silver to your portfolio before your dollar-based assets are worth next to nothing, including stock markets, right? Including stocks. Stocks are still pegged to US dollars. So yes, investing is great and all, but if you're not investing to something that has actual value that you're in complete control of, then you're still missing the whole point, right? You're still missing the whole entire point of investing into precious metals. It's about being in control, complete control of your wealth, right? There is no middleman. You're in complete control of your wealth. If you cannot hold it, you do not own it. Even with ETFs, you know, a lot of people invest into ETFs or something like that, where their silver is stored halfway across the world in some vault with some third-party custodian. They don't even know their first name. You know, that what happens if an emergency comes up, or you have to accumulate your gold and silver soon, or you know, that's not even how the likelihood of your silver even being real is far to none. You want to buy physical precious metals because that is real. That's where it really, that's where the real value is. If you cannot hold it, you don't own it. That's the saying of the stackers. So anyways, I hope this video helped. I hope this allowed you to see the longevity of precious metals, the timelessness of precious metals, and why $600 silver isn't really crazy. I mean, yes, in today's times it is, but who knows how much worse things are going to get, right? I mean, if you think about it, look how bad things were 10, 20 years ago. Think about 10, 20 years from now, how much worse things are going to be. It's only going downhill faster and faster. So with gold and silver's unique advantages, unique properties, and timeless base, the possibilities are endless of where prices really could go. I hope you see that. With that, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to smash the like button. This was Silver Slayer. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.